In the 1990s, Brad Pitt went from playing unfeasibly handsome characters in low-budget films to playing unfeasibly handsome characters in big-budget blockbusters. He enjoyed critical and commercial success in such hits as Interview with a Vampire and Fight Club, and embarked on a well-publicized romance with Gwyneth Paltrow. But the actor's admission that he suffered from depression during his rise to fame has highlighted the fact that even those who appear to have it all are not immune to the condition. Pitt opened up in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter this week, in which he spoke of heavy marijuana use. "I was hiding out from the celebrity thing. I was smoking way too much dope. I was sitting on the couch and just turning into a donut. I really got irritated with myself. I got to, what's the point? I know better than this. I used to deal with depression, but I don't now, not this decade maybe last decade. But that's also figuring out who you are. I see it as a great education, as one of the seasons or a semester This semester I was majoring in depression." A trip to Casablanca in the late 1990s, where the actor said he saw poverty to an extreme I had never witnessed before, shocked him into seeking help. He was also counseled by the U2 singer Bono. "I sought out Bono and sat down with him a few times and got involved in some of the stuff he was doing. But it all started before that. It started with private acts," Pitt explained. The actor was praised by mental health charities for speaking about the condition. The London-based Rethink Mental Illness said it would help other sufferers. "When people in the public eye talk about mental illness, it sends a powerful message to all who face it in their lives," said its spokesman, Mark Davies. Brad Pitt's story shows it is possible to recover, which will give many people renewed hope. "Mental illness can happen to any of us at any time, whether famous or not, rich or poor. It can sometimes be difficult to talk about, even though people with mental illness need as much compassion and support as people with physical health problems."
I'm alive and free from the cage full of lies. What they gonna say is I won't make it. I'm sorry that you feel that way, feel that way. I'm a champion, though I ain't afraid to take a hit. Put it in my face, you can hate me. I'm sorry that you feel that way, feel that way.
Here's why Brad Pitt is getting called out for executive producing the Harvey Weinstein expose copyright, she said, as one of the only people in Hollywood to stand up to Weinstein, in relation to the Gwyneth Paltrow situation. He certainly has great respect for the journalists who were also the first ones to stand up to Weinstein. As one of the only people in Hollywood to stand up to Weinstein, in relation to the Gwyneth Paltrow situation. He certainly has great respect for the journalists who were also the first ones to stand up to Weinstein. She said there's a movie about what it took to break the Harvey Weinstein story, which is why it might be surprising for some that Brad Pitt is an executive producer. For context, she said stars Carey Mulligan and Zoe Kazan as the New York Times reporters who first broke the story. Harvey Weinstein paid off sexual harassment accusers for decades, Megan Twohy and Jodi Kantor. Posters for She Said show a woman in shadow with the caption, "Will you go on the record?" The trailer's opening lines ask, why is sexual harassment so pervasive and so hard to address? Let's interrogate the whole system. Subsequently, Pitt's role as executive producer can seem hypocritical to those who allege that Pitt worked with Weinstein after knowledge of his harassment of two women and given Pitt's own allegations of abuse. The first woman we know to have approached Pitt with allegations against Weinstein was his then-girlfriend, Gwyneth Paltrow. In a 2017 New York Times story by Jodi Kantor and Rachel Abrams, Paltrow alleged that Weinstein invited her to his hotel suite for a work meeting and that he placed his hands on her and suggested they head to the bedroom for massages. Gwyneth told Pitt about the incident, who confirmed to the Times that he confronted Weinstein at a movie premiere and told him not to touch her again. Paltrow said that Weinstein subsequently screamed at me for a long time for talking about the incident, and that she feared she would be fired from Emma. At that moment, I was just a boy from the Ozarks on the playground, and that's how we confronted things, Pitt said in 2019 of his confrontation with Weinstein. I just wanted to make sure nothing was going to happen further, because Paltrow was going to do 2 more films with Weinstein. A source close to Pitt told BuzzFeed that the confrontation subsequently led to Pitt being blacklisted from being cast in Miramax roles. Judah Engelmayer, a representative for Weinstein, said in response, "The charges just aren't true." However, it did not stop him from appearing in movies distributed by the Weinstein Company, including the 2009 hit Inglourious Basterds. A source close to Pitt maintained that Pitt had minimal contact with Weinstein throughout production, and that the movie was a continuation of Pitt's work with director Quentin Tarantino, who at the time had all of his movies distributed via Weinstein.